How's it going, YouTube? My name is ZaffreRevolution. I'm back with another podcast thing, as I did one recently on E3. It was pretty fun, you know, might as well do these more often with more guests, as I know a couple people in the YouTube space, and today we're going to be talking more in depth with Smash Ultimate, as in the last podcast thing, me, Finn, and Soul, or Finn, Soul, and I, excuse me, pretty much just brought it up for a little bit. We talked about it and gave it a bit of a focus, but I want to go more in depth as there's just so much to talk about with Smash in general, and to accompany me, as these podcast things would be super boring if it were just me, I brought a good friend of mine who is pretty big on Smash Bros, as we did a Smash Bros video earlier on, and yeah, go ahead and introduce yourself, man.
What is up, guys? Plan Commander here, and yeah, I do stuff on the internet that involves video games, and Smash is one of said games. So yeah, I enjoy Smash Bros a lot, and yeah, he has been on my channel. Like, that was a long freaking time ago.
That was a long time ago, yeah.
That was like over a year ago at this point. Man, we need to do more of that.
Yeah, man, it's certainly been a while, and you know, we do have a couple games in common, and so when Smash Ultimate comes out, or you want to do anything, just, you know, hit my line, my dude.
Always.
But, anyway, today we're going to be talking about Smash Bros. Ultimate, specifically our predictions on said game, as I personally did a video on this topic, not in terms of predictions, but more of my wishes, and this was before the game was announced at E3, so I was just kind of taking a shot in the dark, like, hey, this is what I would want, but now that we know partly of what we're gonna get, let's just predict the rest, as, you know, me and Plant and I, Jesus, I'm pretty sure you've played every Smash game, have you?
Yes, I have all four of them.
I've played...
The only one I don't have is 3DS. That's the only exception.
Yeah,
but I kind of consider Wii U and 3DS to be the same game.
I getcha. I've played all of them over the years, kind of growing up playing Smash Bros, so you know, both of us are, I could consider us series veterans at this point, so
that does not mean we're good. Please keep that in mind.
Yeah,
I have to specify that, otherwise people will be on my ass.
Oh yeah, well, well, I like to think I'm a little competent with Smash Bros myself, but I'm not a professional.
I am okay.
Well, either way, I think we can do a pretty good job at predicting, so this will be a fun little thing to do, see how much we get right, see what'll come up, and if we get anything right at all. If anything, it's just a fun little topic to talk about, so without any further ado, let's dive right into the first three major categories. So, first off, before we get into the major predicting stuff, just to warm ourselves up and to kind of ease into the topic, let's talk about our brief thoughts on the E3 showing, specifically our top three things we liked the most in the showcase. Starting with you, Plant, go right ahead.
All right.
The three things you like the most.
Well, first of all, anybody who knows me personally, I don't really talk about it all that much on my channel, surprisingly, now that I think about it, but I'm actually a huge Metal Gear fan, so, and you already know where this is going. So, yeah, but yeah. I almost pulled an Etika. I almost broke something. I was so happy. You have no idea.
Oh boy.
I flipped out when I saw his character model come back. That was the most insane thing. That caught me completely off guard. And like, even before the game was announced, like before we even knew that Smash was a thing, I was like, I really hope they bring Snake Bet, but I'm not getting my hopes up because Konami is being stupid and I'm not gonna count on it. And then all of a sudden I see Shadow Moses and I'm like, is that what I think it is? And then he shows up and I'm just like, no fucking way. You've got to be shitting me. And that completely caught me off guard, and I'm so happy that he's back.
Oh yeah, that was quite a shocker. I love watching the reaction videos and seeing everyone like flip out, like, oh my god, the best back.
I know it's a cliched choice, but I love that clip of Etika breaking his shelf.
Dude,
that was so funny.
Did you watch his whole reaction stream? That was so funny.
It was.
Like, I could not believe it.
Oh man, that was great.
I think he actually broke his finger though, or something, because
God.
Near the end he was like, oh my god, I think I broke my finger, but oh my god. It was so funny.
I saw a clip on Twitter going around that was like, First of it was like a little video of him freaking out over Snake, and then it was a picture of his little heart rate monitor that it had, and the fact that he was like 2 BPM away from the max heart rate in order to have a heart attack, and someone was just like, well, to be fair, if anyone was going to have a heart attack over Smash Bros, it would be Etika.
Wow, that was brilliant. But yeah, other two, man.
All right, so the other big one that really caught my attention was the reveal of Ridley, and that, just to kind of put into perspective how I feel about Smash reveals at this point, if there's one thing I've learned from that presentation alone, if not all the ones in the past about Smash, is that if we say something is never going to happen, it will happen. The only rule that they have not broken is the no non-video game characters rule. Other than that, everything is basically fair game at this point. Like,
yeah,
people were all like, "Oh yeah, Sega and Nintendo will never work together," and then Sonic shows up in Brawl. Cloud and Link will never fight officially. Final Fantasy VII DLC. Snake will never come back. Snake comes back. Ridley's too big. Fuck you.
You're right, man. Honestly, like, it's so hard to predict Smash now, which is why it makes it so fun and why we're making a video on it right now,
like,
but, you
everything we've ever said that is never going to happen has happened.
Alright, and thirdly.
This is kind of a random one, but this really kind of caught my attention because I feel like it kind of changes the entire, like, way that the game is played, especially when it comes to, like, aerial characters and shit, and, like, if you know me, I play a lot of aerial-heavy characters, like Lucas, Ness, and my current main is actually Zelda, so I play a lot.
Oh, yeah?
I play a lot of, like, heavily aerial-based characters, and the whole directional air dodging thing kind of threw me for a loop. Like, how the hell is that gonna change how aerial characters work? It feels like that's gonna be a big deal.
Oh, that was in Melee, dude. Do you remember that?
Yeah, but it wasn't exactly. It's not. It looks like it's gonna work like very, very, very different.
Maybe more fluidly, because Melee's air dodge was a little stiff, I suppose. But yeah, I could see that. That's a nice little detail I liked as well.
It looks, the way it looked in the clips that I saw, it looked almost like the rolling mechanic. It looked like they were moving that much, but like in the air, which is significantly more than it was in Melee. In Melee, it was just kind of like a little twitch to the side. But here it looks like they're going pretty damn far. And I feel like that's gonna change up a lot of like mind games and stuff when it comes to like ledge guarding and shit like that.
Which is cool and exciting to look forward to.
Yeah. It's definitely going to take some getting used to, though. But either way, I'm looking forward to it.
Me too. Yeah, me too. So I'll just go over my top 3 real quick. Besides the obvious big ones, like everyone coming back, which, you know, we're all excited for that. A couple of the little things I really liked. One was the theme song. Like, oh man, it is so good. Like,
I mean, when has Smash music not been amazing? Let's be real here.
Yeah, but like, I don't know, this time it just, I already like it more than the Smash Bros. 4 main theme and the original. I think it's up there with like Melee and Brawl because, yo, it was really good.
It was really good. Personally, I don't think it tops Brawl. Brawl was really good. The theme song for Brawl was phenomenal. Like, it had this like super like epic choir feel to it, and damn, it was just so good. And it's close. It definitely comes close.
I think I prefer Melee to Brawl, personally. Just barely. But, like, I don't know, man. Ultimate's theme is so good. Like, the more I listen to it, the more I like it. And, like, how it gets near the climax when Snake shows up, too. It fits so well.
That was so good.
And the strings and the choir, I was like, oh, man, this is so good. I love this music so much. But, yeah, that was definitely one of my favorites. Second, I love what they did with Zelda, because Zelda was always someone I was starting to try and main Zelda personally.
Oh, like, really? Because I picked her up like a couple of months ago, and I actually main her completely now.
Yeah, because she's good, and like, you know, I was pocketing her at first, and then I was like kind of picking her up more and more. I was like, yo, I really like playing as Zelda.
Yeah, she's one of those characters that I always hated playing as until I actually like understood how she worked. And like
exactly.
and like knew how to work her out, because I always thought her like, well, she's so slow, this is so dumb. But like actually learning to play as her and learning like all her sweet spots and shit, like that up air and the lightning kick are fucking ridiculous, and then they're the most satisfying things to land.
Yeah, she's so unique, and like all her magical effects make every hit more satisfying. I'm like, man,
it does.
I really like playing as Zelda.
It does.
But like everyone's always like, oh, Zelda sucks. But I'm like, but she's fun. She did have some flaws though.
Oh, she's
like,
definitely one of the worst characters in the series. I'm not even gonna deny that. But she is so fun to play that I don't care.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. Like, I wish her side B, you know, didn't make her what is it, stagger in the air? What is that?
I don't know what it's called, but
free
I know
fall?
yeah, free falling.
Yeah, like I hate that, and I never was a fan of that realistic design, but then she shows up in this, and I'm like, oh my god, I love her.
I love her new design. That made me so happy, because I was kind of, honestly, I was actually kind of afraid that they would go for the Breath of the Wild design, which, don't get me wrong, I really like her design in Breath of the Wild. It's great, it's one of the best Zelda designs yet, but it's not iconic enough. I feel like it's just, it's too different. It's good, but it's not as recognizable as the one they went with. I'm pretty sure the one they went with was Link Between Worlds, right?
Yes.
Yeah, that's one of my favorite designs to date. Honest to God, I don't think anything is, and I know this is gonna sound like, oh, you're stuck in the past, nostalgia blind. I don't care. I don't think anything's ever going to top the Ocarina of Time design for me personally, but I really, really like the one they went with. It just really fits for her.
Yeah, A Link Between Worlds, and I think, is it similar to the one in A Link to the Past? I think it is.
It's similar. In Link to the Past, she actually looks a lot like she does in Minish Cap. Like, she has like a big bow and stuff.
Yeah, that's right. I might be misremembering it, but
she looks similar, but her clothes are a bit different.
Yeah. I think, well, A Link Between Worlds and Skyward Sword were always my favorite Zelda designs, to be honest.
My favorite Zelda
so
design overall is probably it's probably either Adult from Ocarina of Time or Skyward Sword. Skyward Sword, she's so cute in Skyward Sword. Oh my god.
Yeah, but again, you know, it wouldn't fit her princess combat style that they were going for. But
like she
I loved
looks
her
too young.
in Skyward Sword.
She looks too young in that game.
Yeah, definitely. But yeah, I'm really glad they went with this design, and it makes her stand out a lot more from Sheik.
Yeah.
And she's just so much more expressive. Like the expressions in this game, so good. Yeah, I love it.
That's another thing that I feel like that's kind of been really improving ever since Brawl, because.
Because Brawl was so not expressive.
Don't get me wrong, Brawl looked great for the time, but the art style has just aged terribly. Like,
because it's coming for realistic.
Yeah, like back in 2008, it looked phenomenal. I thought like every little detail of like all the stitching on Mario's overalls and shit looked amazing back in the day. But looking back on it now, I'm just like, this game looks really bland.
Yeah, it's something that game designers are kind of realizing now, that when you go for realistic looks, it's gonna look really good at the time, but it's not gonna age at all.
It does not age well.
And thirdly,
oh wait, before you go on, while we were on the topic of like Zelda art style and shit, one detail I really like that I don't think either of us mentioned this, but the fact that they went back to Ocarina of Time Ganondorf. Thank you.
Oh, dude, yes, I love that.
He looks like,
and he has a sword for his smash attacks.
Oh my god, dude, I'm so happy, because don't get me wrong, I like the Twilight Princess design, but like, it's stuck around for too long. I'm getting tired of it. It's a good design. I want something different, you know. And like going back to his Ocarina of Time look, I'm pretty sure this is the first time we've ever seen that design of him since
Melee.
Since Ocarina of Time and like spin-offs and shit, since Melee is I'm pretty sure that's actually the most recent model of that design of Ganondorf, which Melee was
which kind of sucks because and it's like my favorite design of Ganon too.
It's by far my favorite Ganon design, like without question. Like even more than Wind Waker. Like I like it as a design of Wind Waker, but like in Ocarina of Time, it's so streamlined. He looks so much more intimidating.
Mm-hmm. So that's something to look forward to as well.
Yep.
And my third favorite thing I liked, it was I was trying to think of something, but I really do think it is the Ridley reveal as well because, yo, it was so good. Yo, shout out to Mario and Mega Man dying in that trailer just to reveal Ridley.
Yeah.
Like
Jesus.
Whoa.
And I kind of like, I was watching that trailer, like that, I was watching that whole reveal thing live, and when I had it full screen, so I couldn't see the chat, and obviously I was on YouTube, not Twitch, so I was a little bit behind. And when I saw that, like, that background, I was just like, this looks like Metroid. This has to be Metroid. And I'm just like, is Rundus getting in? Is it Silux? Is it Dark Samus as an Echo Fighter? What the fuck is this? And then Ridley shows up, and I'm like, you what, mate? Excuse me?
When the trailer came on, because I'm still not that big into Metroid, but
dude,
when the trailer came on, I know, I don't know, man. You got so much stuff, so many games to play, man. But I do need to get on that. But anyway, when the trailer came on, I had no idea who it was. It was like, what is this? And then I saw Samus and Mario and Mega Man, and I was like, what is this? And then when I think Mario went first, and like, or whoever went first, and I saw the tail, I was like, oh my god, it's Ridley. Oh
yeah,
my god,
that's
no
what,
way.
That's what I saw. That's what I saw. I was like, when I saw that tail, I'm like, okay, I know where this is going. This is a joke, right? This is gonna be like a bait and switch. He's gonna be like a stage hazard again, right? And then,
oh, dude, that'd be so cruel.
Dude, I would have been so pissed, and I legitimately thought that's where it was going. I genuinely thought that's where they were going with this. I'm just like, there's no fucking way. Sakurai wouldn't. He said it so many times he didn't want to. There's no way. And then he did.
Like, GG, Sakurai. GG. I will say, though, I was a little upset to see my girl Lynn as an assist trophy once again. Like, when she sliced onto the screen, I was like, no!
Yeah.
Lynn! Why?
Why not replace freaking Lucina?
Yeah!
She's a more popular character than Lucina. I don't even play Fire Emblem, and I know that.
Yeah, it's, man. It's, like, it makes me so sad that we have a clone of Marth when we already have Roy, who, strangely enough, doesn't count as an Echo Fighter. I really don't get that, but anyway.
I feel like the only reason for that is because they were clones in Melee. There's no way around that. But like, since Roy kind of missed out on a game, Marth had 2 games to kind of evolve, and I feel like he's changed enough since then to make it feel a lot different now. Yeah,
they do still feel kind of similar.
But
like Roy's just a bit
nearly,
tankier,
not nearly as similar.
But not
as they did in Melee.
not nearly as much in Melee. So that's fair and all, but you know, I don't know. I think they could have. Echo Fighters are just like 1-to-1 clones. Like they're exactly the same character, with a few differences. Whereas like Ganondorf and Captain Falcon are kind of clones, but they still do their some things to stick out.
They're like based on each other, but they're not quite clones.
Yeah, it's a little confusing, but you know, it's best not to think about that too much.
Yeah.
Either way, we've got a bunch of cool characters to play as in Smash, and it's really exciting that we have everyone back.
Yeah.
Like, oh man, Young Link, Pichu, what?
I'll be honest.
Pokemon Trainer?
I'll be honest. I kind of forgot that Young Link existed, which is weird because I played as him probably more than anyone else back in Melee. I never
one of my mains too.
I never mained him, but I played the shit out of him as a kid.
I just thought he was a better Link. Like, I just like
the
lighter, faster Links.
Same here. I'm just like, this is just Link, but better.
Like, that's why I played Toon Link so much in Brawl and to some extent Smash 4, but I haven't played as him as much lately. But, you know.
Yeah.
So, yeah, lots of great reveals at E3. It was so hype. Like, sometimes I just go back and rewatch the trailer and I just get excited all over again, man.
Dude, I'm
it's
right there with you.
Yeah, it's so great. But yeah, that being said, everyone's coming back, and Sakurai himself said, like, yo, this was literally one of the hardest things I've ever had to do, so please don't be expecting too many new characters.
Don't ask me for anything ever again.
Yeah. However, immediately after that, he still went on to reveal a new character, so...
He's like, don't expect anyone new. By the way, here's Ridley.
But yeah, you can have Ridley, though. So, we're expecting some new characters, because, you know, as much as he says, like, don't expect anyone too much, it's not a new Smash without new characters, you know? So, I'm predicting there's going to be some new characters, not nearly as many as 4 or Melee and Brawl, but some new characters. So, I want to ask you, Plant, how many new characters do you think are coming in, and who do you think they will be? So...
Okay. I'm kind of going to split this up into a couple different categories, like my realistic expectations, what I want, and there's actually a third category that I kind of want to go over. There is actually a surprisingly large amount of Echo Fighters that I really, really want in.
Okay, let's go over, let's go over Echo Fighters or completely new characters first. You decide.
Alright, I'll go over the Echo Fighters. So, 2 have really kind of stuck out to me ever since Brawl. And both of the base characters came in Brawl. I think they did. Yeah, they did. 2 really stuck out to me. And one of those, I am legitimately shocked, was not a thing already. I'm, like, legitimately amazed that they did not do this. Why the fuck is there not a Sonic skin for Shadow?
Yeah.
Why the
Yeah.
heck? Like, it is so perfect. At the very least, give us a skin. An Echo Fighter would be really cool. Maybe his Final Smash could be like Chaos Control or something like that. That could be pretty cool. I don't know if they would go for, like, a full character since they're so damn similar. Like, even in their own games, they're basically the same thing.
Yeah.
But, like, really, like, why the hell is there not, at the very least, a Shadow skin? Like...
Yeah, I think Shadow's gonna get in this game. Not gonna lie, like, he's one of my Echo Fighter predictions.
I hope so. I genuinely hope so. Was there a Shadow Assist trophy revealed yet?
No, it was Knuckles, surprisingly.
That's what I thought. So that's why I'm kind of really hoping that he does get in as an Echo Fighter. And
I think he will, because I think Sakurai sees it, and they could give some slight tweaks to Sonic's moveset. Like, there's really I still stand by there's no need for him to have 2 different spin dashes. Like, that's so redundant.
Yeah.
But, like, maybe that can be replaced by, like, Chaos Spear or something from Shadow.
Like, maybe they could just, like, change up Sonic or something and just give his old moveset to Shadow. Like, who knows?
Yeah. Just a little slower and a little stronger.
Yeah.
Because, like, Shadow is more of a fighter in the games than Sonic, I'd say.
Yeah.
But yeah, that'd be really cool if Shadow got in. Like, you know, maybe we could get 2 Sonic stages instead of just 1.
That would be pretty cool.
For his Final Smash, I expect it to be Super Shadow, but, like, maybe with a different spin. Like, instead of just, like, ramming into everyone, maybe he could use Chaos Blast or Chaos Control, maybe. I don't know how Chaos Control will be different, though.
I was actually thinking something more along the lines of what Luigi did in Brawl.
Like, a field? I guess, but I don't think they're gonna do Final Smashes like that anymore. I think the Final Smashes are more cutscenes.
I don't want to like jump the gun and say that, like, oh, if they do Shadow, they have to do that. But like, it's kind of a given that something involving Chaos Control would have to be involved because that was his function as an assist trophy.
Yeah, I think it'll be like some cutscene where he maybe he does Chaos Control or something, a portal opens up, and then he, slows down time and beats the crap out of people.
You know what would be really fucking cool?
What?
A Team Blast from Sonic Heroes.
Oh, that'd be cool. Like, Team Dark comes in?
Yeah.
Oh, dude.
Dude, that could be cool.
Yeah, man. Something with freezing time would be cool. Like, I remember in Tatsunoko vs. Capcom, like, Zero's ultimate special was that he, like, freeze time and then, like, slice his enemy, then unfreeze time. And it just did all the damage at once, and that was, like, one of the coolest things ever.
Yeah.
So I expect something like that with Shadow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Alright, and, yeah, the other Echo Fighter that I really wanted to get in, and this, I feel like, could go either way. I feel like this could be an Echo Fighter, or they could do something completely different with it. It's really up to how creative they want to get. Dixie Kong.
Right. Oh.
They could do something pretty damn cool with her. Either just a straight clone of Diddy with some minor changes, but, like, she's got her own arsenal, man. Like, there's a lot of cool shit that she can pull off.
Yeah, I get that, man. I was, honestly, when Smash 4 was coming out and how everyone was like, oh man, is Dark Pit gonna come in as, like, a Pit clone? I was always thinking, like, no, there's so many weapons they could pick from from Kid Icarus Uprising again. I mean, he ended up as a pit clone anyway, so I was like, ah, whatever.
Why the hell?
But,
why?
yeah, but Dixie Kong, I feel like she honestly could be her own character, man. Like with her hair.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Like her recovery would be completely different.
Yeah. Just, and you know, maybe she wouldn't use a peanut pop gun, but just something else. I don't know what, but because I don't know, man. She doesn't really do that much in her games besides stuff with her hair.
And I know she wasn't in this game, but like they could even pull something out of Donkey Kong 64. Like there's a lot to work with there. Even though she wasn't really in that game, they've done that with other characters, pulled stuff from games that they weren't in. So like they do have a lot to work with out of all the 4 Kongs that were in 64. So they do have some potential there.
Yeah. All right, I can see that. That'd be fun. And I think she's part of the Forbidden 7 from Brawl, right?
Yeah, I think she was.
Yeah, so maybe they have ideas from that they could still want to use. Just saying, you know.
All right.
But yeah, that'd be cool.
Yeah, dude, I'm hoping for at least another Donkey Kong rep in general. Be it Cranky, Dixie, but my biggest hope, I really hope they do K. Rool. I really do.
Yeah.
But like, I'd be happy with any of them because I've been getting more and more into Donkey Kong lately. So like, man, like there's a lot of cool characters they could do. But this last one for the Echo Fighters category, and if they do this, I honestly do not think that they will. It will be extremely surprising to me if they actually do this. But if they do, I really hope they don't make it an Echo Fighter and do something completely different. Because there is so much potential for this character to be something completely fresh and completely new and so interesting. But they could just as easily make it a clone, and I really don't want that to happen. Paper Mario.
Oh, yeah. Oh, boy.
Is so much to work with there. There's the whole folding mechanic. You turn him into a plane for his recovery. Kind of give him like a glide or something, kind of like Ben Knight had in Brawl. Maybe do something with his hammer. Do something. Paper Mario has so much potential moves that you can give him that normal Mario just can't do. And there's something. There's a lot of potential for something really interesting there.
I highly doubt he would be an Echo Fighter. Mostly because we already have, like, a Mario clone.
Yeah.
But, like, if they did make Paper Mario an Echo Fighter, not only would it not fit for Paper Mario because he just doesn't do the same stuff as Mario,
he's like a completely different character.
It'd be so disappointing.
He really is.
Yeah, it'd be so lame if they made him an Echo Fighter, just like Mario but paper. Like, really?
Yeah,
like,
if you're gonna do that, might as well just give him a palette swap. Like, really. But if they do add him as a character, there is so much to work with there, and I feel like they could do something really, really interesting with him.
Yeah, I think he'd be a good Echo Fighter as well. A couple Echo Fighters of mine. Let's see. There were a couple I had in mind. Like, Shadow was a really big one. But other than that, with Echo Fighters, it's just that I kind of wish we didn't have them at all, because now we can now there's an excuse to make more clone characters. But I guess another one that would be cool would be Dark Samus.
That would be
just
nice.
so we have more Metroid representatives in regards to that. But maybe Linkle for Legend of Zelda.
That could be cool.
That'd be really cool. Yeah, maybe she could have like a little bit differences, because I think she uses crossbows for her attacks in Hyrule Warriors, which would be really unique and fun. But well, honestly, in terms of that, she'd probably be better as a new character. But yeah, I honestly can't really think of many Echo Fighters I'd want to see, because, you know, they're easy to do, and, you know, I just want new characters. So
Oh wait, there is one more that I do want as an Echo Fighter, and they could, if they do this, it is more than likely going to be as an Echo Fighter. But given the original character and what they did with him, you can also see how that could get creative. I want Black Shadow from F-Zero.
Oh, yeah?
Because, I mean, Captain Falcon is a fucking race car driver. Why is his fist on fire? There's like no correlation there whatsoever. They just slapped on him whatever the hell they wanted in Smash 64, and he ended up being one of the most iconic characters in the franchise. They could do something just as creative with Black Shadow and make him completely different. if they do it, they're most likely going to make him an Echo Fighter just because he's, you know, same series, also a race car driver, his rival, all that kind of shit. But they could pull something off, like, just make him completely ridiculous, like they did with Captain Falcon.
Yeah, I think because Ganondorf is already kind of based off of Captain Falcon, that he'd be better as a new character entirely. And, you know, that's kind of like the whole reason they did Captain Falcon, because they could just do whatever they wanted with him. So they're just like, oh, let's just do this guy and just give him stuff. That'd be cool.
I mean, and it worked, but, it worked out because he's like one of the most stylish guys in the entire series. I'm pretty sure, correct me if I'm wrong, but I think Smash 64 was the first time we ever even saw Captain Falcon.
Yeah, other than a portrait while you're racing, I think.
Yeah, I don't think he's ever had a character model before that.
Which is pretty cool.
They literally built him from the ground up because his full body didn't even exist yet. I don't know whether...
Leave it to Sakurai
I don't know whether Smash 64 or F-Zero X came first. I don't remember which one it was. But if it was Smash 64, then that means that they literally created an entire character model that did not even exist as a character model. They had nothing to base him on yet, just for the sake of putting him in Smash.
Hey man, anything's possible, I guess. That is a little weird.
Yeah.
But yeah, so let's move on to some newcomers. So, how many newcomers do you think are going to be coming, and who do you think they will be in terms of like completely new fighters in general?
My guess is, not including the two that we already know, my guess is somewhere between 3 and 7. I'm guessing somewhere around 5.
Okay.
7 to 10 at the most.
I think I want to say 8 would be the most, just to play it safe, because like 8 is still a lot.
I mean like total, like including Inklings and Ridley.
Yeah. Okay. All right. So go ahead. Predictions. Predict away.
All right. So my first one that I am honestly going to be like, I'm gonna be honest. I'm like really hoping that this happens, and there's a very high chance that it won't. This is kind of like random and kind of unlikely, but given recent events, it could happen. Crash Bandicoot.
Oh man, there it is, guys.
I'm serious. Like, Crash is on the Switch now, and it's not just a straight port either. They did make significant changes to the game. They had to change the whole graphics engine to get it to run on the Switch. They did a lot of work to get that game on the system, and I feel like they could very much carry that over into Smash if they really wanted to.
Yeah, a lot of people have been saying that he might get in, and I wouldn't be surprised, especially after freaking Cloud got into Smash Bros. Nobody like the sky's the limit. But I think Crash would fit right in, and it'd be funny because Smash Bros. Would be the first fighting game crossover series he'd get in, and not PlayStation All Stars. But that
would be really ironic. But yeah.
Yeah, I think he'd be really fun to play as. He'd be so unique and different, and you know I could see that happening. I really do. Now that he's like really popular again after the success of the Insane trilogy, and that it's getting on Switch with many differences to the graphics engine. I could see that.
Yeah. All right. So that's my big one. For third-party characters, there's one other that I don't want to say I'm expecting, but it would not surprise me. I really, and this is probably like my overall most wanted character. I really want Travis Touchdown.
Oh yeah? That'd be cool.
And it just for the sake of since we're already on the topic of Ubisoft, I feel like Rayman is more likely. But and I would be cool with that too. Rayman has like a lot of potential for a cool character, especially after like the N64 version of Rayman 2, I think it was. There's a lot of cool shit he can pull off in that game. And I feel like there's a lot of potential there for a moveset, especially after like his recent revival and stuff with Legends and Origins. But I do think that of all of the third-party characters that are like actually legitimately possible, I think the big one has to be Travis, because he's only been on Nintendo systems, save for a port of No More Heroes 1 on the PS3. Other than that...
Did they even, like, release in America? I thought that was, like,
no,
a
it
Europe
did.
exclusive.
No, it did.
Oh, that's cool.
I actually picked it up for a friend of mine. But, yeah, so... Other than that one port, he has been a Nintendo exclusive character, even though he's third party. And given Suda51's, like, big ties with Nintendo, like, a lot of the shit he's done is, like, famously Nintendo exclusive. Like, what the hell was that one GameCube game he did? Like, Killer 7, I think it was? I think...
I wouldn't know.
I think that's what it was. And then, especially after the No More Heroes series, 1, 2, and the new one coming out for the Switch, I feel like they could use that to kind of promote that new game coming out, Travis Strikes Again. And I know that it's kind of like a spin-off of the No More Heroes series. It's not really like a true entry in the franchise, but I do feel like they could put Travis in there. And I feel like they could use that to promote the new game. And I really hope they do, because ever since I've played No More Heroes, I really, really wanted him in Smash.
Yeah. The guy, Suda51, I think, wanted him in Smash as well.
I vaguely remember an interview like that. I don't remember where I saw that, but that does sound familiar.
Yeah, I think he'd make a good addition too. Of course, he'd have to tone him down drastically, like they did with Bayonetta.
And
but...
yeah, and I was about to say, because like I kind of wanted him in Smash 4, but I wasn't getting my hopes up specifically because of that, because I knew he was an M-rated character, and I knew that they could kind of get away with it in Snake in Brawl, because he's not vulgar, if that makes any sense. Yes, he's violent as hell. Like, he has guns. He does like hardcore CQC. He can snap a dude's neck in some Metal Gear games. He's a hardcore dude. But Snake is the kind of character that it fits with his personality if you do tone him down. With Travis, he will fucking, like, he will cuss you out. Like, he's the kind of guy who doesn't give a fuck who he pisses off. And I feel like they would have to kind of be careful with the lines that they give him, because he's kind of known for being out there, like really obnoxious and super hardcore.
Yeah, I think they'd be okay with toning him down though.
But then again, they did it with Bayonetta, so
yeah,
exactly. I do
exactly.
think it's possible.
And like his playstyle would be fun, using a beam katana and using all those stylish attacks and whatnot.
All like the wrestling moves could be like his throws and grabs. That could be cool.
Yeah, I think he'd be fun. Anyone else, man? You got 2 left, so.
I would say another one that I this is one that I really do want, but at this point, I'm not so sure it's gonna happen. I hope it does, just for the sake of variety. I've never even played this series. I know virtually nothing about it. But I want Professor Layton.
Yeah?
I feel like there could be a lot done there. Like, I mean, yes, he's a sword fighter and all, but he's from a freaking detective puzzle game. I feel like let me put it this way. If they could make Phoenix Wright a fighting game character, they could definitely pull something off with Layton.
That's exactly what I was thinking.
Yeah. He's a fucking lawyer. I'm pretty sure they could do something with Layton.
Yeah, I think because he has a lot of stuff he can work with, like the coin blaster and his fencing and some other random stuff they can pull from his games. I haven't played the Professor Layton games either.
Yeah.
They look fun and all. I might pick them up someday, but I think he could be a very fun fighter. And, Sakurai loves the random fighters that just do a bunch of weird stuff, but they somehow work and make characters into a playable character, so... I think Professor Layton would be someone unique, and definitely a lot of people want him in. So that'd be pretty cool if they added him. Yeah. I personally don't think he'll get in, but
I doubt it.
Cool.
I highly doubt it, but because people have been asking him for him for years, and I honest to God don't think that it's going to happen. But if it does, I'll be pretty happy just to see some representation from an obscure game. Because, I mean, Professor Layton is popular, don't get me wrong, but to the casual market, nobody knows who the fuck he is. Like,
Yeah.
you'll have to be, like, a hardcore gamer to even have heard of Professor Layton. So I feel like just having him in here, for the sake of variety, would give a lot of people an excuse to try a series that they never had any interest in. I mean, that's kind of how it worked for me with, believe it or not, of all things, Pokemon. Smash is what got me into Pokemon.
Really?
Yeah.
Interesting. Wow.
Yeah, the main reason I'm into Pokemon is because I was super interested in Mewtwo in Melee. That's what caught my interest.
Well, yeah, there you go. Smash Bros. Introduces us to many new franchises.
and,
like, that's how I got into Fire Emblem.
And don't even get me started on it. Yeah, and I was about to say, Fire Emblem, F-Zero, Star Fox, there's so many franchises that are pretty damn big for Nintendo that probably wouldn't be that big if it weren't for Smash.
Yeah. Yeah. So Professor Layton, like, that'd be a unique fighter, and could get more people into the puzzle-solving goodness of those games, as far as I know.
I do just kind of want more representation. I think that's the big thing that I really kind of want in this game is I know that they're bringing a lot of like fan favorites back, and they're bringing back everyone and introducing characters that a lot of people really wanted, like Ridley and the Inkling. So man, ever since Splatoon launch, ever since Splatoon was announced, people wanted those things in Smash, just because they're such a cool idea.
Yeah, and they got in. They were the first ones confirmed, which was really cool. So
yeah, definitely.
And they look to be a lot of fun to play as. So I'm hoping for Smash Ultimate we have so many we have the biggest variety of play styles, you know. So everyone can find someone that fits them, you know.
Yeah.
But one more. Or?
Well, there's a couple more, but I was gonna say the big one. There was one more big one. I can't freaking remember it. There was one that I really, really wanted in. I do think that there might potentially be a new Xenoblade rep. I'm not sure. My guess is that it would be either a Rex and Pyra combo, or I've heard a surprisingly large amount of people asking for this, which kind of blows my mind. Because I did not think anybody really wanted this. But there's a surprisingly large following for Elma from Xenoblade X.
Really?
Yeah. And it's a lot more people than you would think. Like, I've seen a tremendous outcry within a couple of little tiny communities for getting Elma in Smash. And I'm like, why? I don't really see the point. Like, I don't understand why you want her so bad. Like, and you have to understand that. I think Xenoblade X was a game that had a lot of potential and fell flat on its face for the most part. There are points in that game that I like. The characters are not one of them at all. And like the thought of getting a new Xenoblade character and it being from X at all never crossed my mind. It never once came into my head that, oh, if we get a new Xenoblade character, it should be from X. That thought never once came to me. But a surprisingly large amount of people really want her for some reason.
That is very surprising. Like, I don't think anyone from X is going to get in just because...
I doubt it. If there's going to be a new Xenoblade rep, I can almost guarantee you that it's going to be Rex.
But, yeah, so... I'll go over my predictions. I kind of already went over, like, my wish list of characters, but these are the characters I'm almost 100% sure are going to get in. So, first off, of course, Rex and Pyra.
Yep.
I just think they're just shy from confirmation at this point. As much as I only want Pyra and Mithra, because, like, I just don't really like Rex all that much.
Yeah,
from what I've played, too. But, I think Rex and Pyra are going to get in, and I think they'll have a unique playstyle as well. Like, maybe it'll be another puppet character, like Rosalina and Luma. I don't know, something to incorporate the two fighting styles. That'd be a lot of fun. Without, you know, having switchable characters like Zelda and Sheik, because I think they're just done with that in general.
Oh, shit, I just got a cool idea. You know what could be interesting?
What?
You know how the whole, like, partner system works in Xenoblade 2, right? Like, how you have to stay within a certain proximity?
Mm-hmm.
They could do something kind of like what they did with Pokemon Trainer. Keep him in the background, and Rex gets a boost if he stays close to her.
Yeah, that'd be cool, but like, you know, with all the dynamic stages and stuff, it'd be kind of hard to do.
It would be hard to do, but like I feel like if that's a pretty interesting way they could do it.
Yeah, I kind of wish they'll do more than that though, because there's like so much potential for movesets if they incorporate the two. But you know, so there's that. I know there's gonna be a new Fire Emblem representative, but the problem is whether it's gonna be from the new game or from Shadows of Valentia, and I'm leaning more towards the new game because Edelgard or Edgelord, whatever.
Edgelord.
The new female protagonist, or one of the protagonists, we're not entirely sure who the main protagonist is, if there is one at all, but I think it'll be her that'll get it, since we need more, we still need more female playable characters in the game, I feel.
Yeah,
and she has, yeah, and she has an axe, which is no one in the none of the Fire Emblem representatives in Smash use an axe, which would make her stand out.
Aren't they
and
all
not
sword fighters at this point?
Yep. Which is why I wanted to win, because she could use a sword and a bow, but whatever, final assist trophy, it's fine.
The only exception that we really have to that is Robin, but even then, he still has a sword.
Yeah, so that's why Little Miss Edgelord would be a good representative for that, because she'd be from the new one, and she'd be using a different weapon, so I think she's gonna get in. If not her, then definitely, what's her name? Silica from Shadows of Valentia, because she's a mage. And even though she uses, like, a dagger, it's really not, it's pales in comparison to her magic uses, so there's that.
Maybe they could do something like Robin with her, but make her a lot more magic-centric.
Yeah, like including smash attacks.
Yeah.
Not using her, dagger. Yeah, that'd be cool. Thirdly, I think there's gonna be, of course, a new Pokemon. I'm thinking it's gonna be, the Grass Starter and their final evolution from Alola. I forgot. I know it's Rowlet, but I forgot the final evolution's name.
I know exactly what you're talking about, and I forget its name too. I haven't played Gen 7 yet.
Yeah, I didn't finish it, but you know, I'll just put their name on the screen. But I think that would make for a unique playable character as well, because we don't have a grass Pokemon yet. Well, besides
we have
Bulbasaur, or Ivysaur. My bad. We have Ivysaur in the form of the Pokemon Trainer, which is nice, but a fully evolved one, because there's Charizard fully evolved Fire, Greninja fully evolved Water, but we need a fully evolved Grass, so I think the final evolution of Rowlet would be a unique fighter for, like, the arrows gameplay, zoning, maybe? It'd be a zoning character.
That could be cool.
Projectile focus, that'd be really cool, yeah, so I think, I'm pretty sure that they'll get in, because I think it's about time we get a final evolution form for a grass type Pokemon, and that
represent grass trainers, please, because I always go grass. Like every Pokemon game I play, I always pick the grass one.
Yeah, so you know, there's that. Personally, I'm a water guy myself, but you know, that's besides the point.
Yeah, well, I win because grass beats water. Damn it.
Oh yeah, you're right. Well, besides that, more confirmed characters. Of course, there's gonna be the random character, the like one that comes out of the blue, and one can only imagine what that could possibly be.
Reckless Wii Safety Man.
Reckless Wii Safety Man?
You haven't seen that?
No.
oh my god. Okay, please, for the love of God, look that up right now. Like, don't, like, drop whatever the hell you're doing and forget whatever you were about to say. Look that up.
Alright.
That's something that people have been trying to do ever since the Wii Fit Trainer was announced, and it is the funniest campaign I have ever seen, and I really want it to happen.
The silhouette.
It's the guy that always tells you to put the wrist strap on in the start of every Wii game.
That'd be really funny, no lie. That'd be so funny. I don't know, man. The random character? Nintendo Labo? I don't know.
That was another thing I was gonna say. Like, if they can do like the little cardboard guy that you stick to the back of a Joy-Con.
That's like a random prediction, not one of my main ones, but
I can see that in terms of who trophy, not gonna lie.
The Labo? Oh yeah.
Yeah, like a bunch of those little guys.
In terms of who I think I'm gonna get in, it just hit me again. I remember now. Chibi Robo, I think, is pretty much confirmed because
that could be cool.
I think it's because of the Twitter thing. Because right before the Direct that announced Smash, Nintendo of America uploaded this random picture of Chibi Robo on fire, and it was just like, what the heck? And all the other company Twitter accounts were like memeing with it.
What the
But
hell?
Smash Bros. Came up when it was revealed as like a fire logo, so that's got people thinking, was this to foreshadow that? And if it was, could this mean Chibi Robo?
That could be cool.
And I think
that could be cool.
I think, yeah, it'd be really cool, and I think Chibi Robo is one of the few first-party Nintendo characters that just aren't in Smash Bros. Yet, so represent Chibi Robo, man, because as a franchise, he's kind of dying, which is a little unfortunate. I thought his GameCube game was a lot of fun, but
I've never played a Chibi Robo game, actually.
They're weird. They're different, but, you know, I kind of liked it. It's been a while since I played, but I remembered it being a lot of fun.
Yeah.
But I think Chibi Robo was going to get in. And finally, for a third-party character, it's a little tough, but I'm thinking that I'm thinking we're going to get something indie, because indies are getting so big as of late. And I think we're going to get something. If not Shantae, then definitely Shovel Knight, because Shovel Knight's like becoming the unofficial face of indie games, which is really cool, and I think he'd be so fun to play as in Smash Bros.
I'm about to say something that people are probably gonna call me out for being freaking stupid, but you know what? I don't care. You know who I want in Smash? You know who? What would be a really good indie represent character that could potentially happen? Is that the chance of this happening is like incredibly slim, like ridiculously slim, but it is possible. Papyrus. I'm
not Sans.
No, I think Papyrus would be better. I feel like he's a more iconic character than Sans. Because when I think of Undertale, Sans is not the first character that comes to mind. It's Papyrus, and I feel like Papyrus also have more to work with, because there's a lot more build-up for him. There's a lot more emphasis placed on the game, because Sans does not really get that much spotlight until the very end of the game and in the Genocide run. Otherwise, he's kind of like in the dark. He doesn't really do much. Yeah, he has a couple of cutscenes here and there, but like, he isn't developed as deeply as Papyrus is early on, and I feel like he's just a little bit more recognizable because of that.
Yeah, I can see that. I'm personally in the boat that I don't think anyone from Undertale will
doubt
get into
it.
Smash Bros.
I highly doubt it. But if there is going to be an indie representative, I do hope that it's Papyrus.
Yeah, well, my hopes are of course for Gunvolt, but you know.
if not Shantae, because Shantae is like the big one. That if anyone indie is going to get in, my guess realistically is Shantae.
Yeah. Alright. I'd hope Gunvolt gets in, but, you know, it's whatever. But, I think Shovel Knight's gonna get in, if not Shantae. One of those two are my big indie representative, predictions. But, yeah. Lots to look forward to in Smash Bros. But,
yeah.
One thing with Smash 4, I think we can kind of all agree with, is that the single-player campaign, or lack thereof, the single-player modes in general, were kind of lacking.
I definitely agree.
Yeah, and like unlocking characters just wasn't nearly as fun as Brawl. And as much as people are split on Subspace Emissary, my bad, and Brawl, like at least there was some form of an attempt, you know.
And that's the thing,
Smash
like,
4,
because
just
even as, for lack of a better word, stupid as a Subspace could have got, sometimes like having it there was such a cool addition to the game. Like, more fighting games need a freaking story mode. A story mode is like, if you're not playing a fighting game competitively, a story mode is like the best possible thing that you could put in it, because it gives the people who aren't competitive in the game motivation to play it.
Yeah. And like, if anything, you've got the cool cutscenes of characters crossing over from different franchises interacting, which is cool in of itself. Like the stuff we get in the character reveal trailers, we want like a whole mode where more of this happens.
And like, there's actually like, I don't want to say a coherent narrative, because the story of Brawl made no fucking sense most of the time, but like, it does kind of wrap itself together, like, in a way that I don't want to say makes sense, but, like, kind of makes sense. Like, basically what I'm trying to get at here is it links them all together. Whether or not it was successful in doing so in a reasonable way is a completely different question. But it tries to do that, and it shows, and it's just really nice.
Yeah. So, that being said, for a single-player mode in this game, like, whether we'd want one, I'm pretty sure that's obvious on that, and
yeah,
what we would want it to be, because there have been attempts for good single-player modes in the past. Some are better, some are bigger winners than others, but let's talk about that and talk about what they could do in this game to make the best possible single-player experience, and just predicting what, you know, what is the streamlined way of unlocking all these characters, because like Sakurai said, we're starting with the base roster from the original Smash 64, and that is very, very small compared to how many characters are in this, are going to be in this new Smash
just
game.
Just to clarify, when he said that, was he referring to all the secret characters included from Smash 64, or just the original 8? I think so.
8? I think the original 12, not, I think the secret characters are included.
Okay, because either way, honest to God, I'm, believe it or not, very happy about that. I like unlocking characters. That is my biggest disappointment out of any, not even the lack of a story mode, out of anything that bugged me about Smash 4 was the fact that so many characters were unlocked from the beginning. It just made going through the roster a lot less enjoyable. It made playing as a new character all of a sudden not nearly as exciting as it was in Brawl. Or Melee, for that matter. Because whenever you unlocked a character in those games, you were just like, whoa, somebody new, I gotta see what they can do now. Like, I gotta try this. This is something completely different. This is exciting. 4 didn't really have that. Like, there was not any real excitement when it came to playing as the new characters. Unlocking them gives you that kind of rush that gets you really hyped up to play a new character. And whether or not you like them, it doesn't matter. You still get excited.
Like, the whole challenger approaching concept is really, really cool when you, like, discover the secret and you're like, oh, I get a new character.
You're just like, oh shit, what's going on? I gotta do this. This is, like, it just hypes you up. It's something that I feel like Smash, in general, is kind of built on hype, and having that carry over into the game is something that I really, really missed in Smash 4.
Yeah, and the argument can be made that, you know, it's a fighting game. I want all the characters unlocked from the start so I can play as who I want. And, you know, I can kind of see that, but Smash Bros. Is more of like a mix between a fighting game and a party game.
I would say it's more even a party game at this point. Like, Nintendo has very clearly put a much stronger emphasis on the party game format, like, aspect of it. And don't get, and it has a competitive following. Like, there is no fucking doubt about that. And I'm not saying that it diminishes any other fighting game. It might even be one of the biggest, if anything. But Nintendo knows that, and they do put a lot of thought into the competitive aspects of the game when designing it. And Sakurai himself even acknowledged that, like, in the presentation. He outright said something along those lines. I can't remember exactly what he said, but it was something like, oh, we know that Smash has a big, like, competitive following, and we get that, and we support that, and we're super happy about it. But at its core, Smash has always been a game to play with friends. Whether you are playing competitive, whether you're playing to win, whether you're just sitting down on a couch hoping to have fun with a couple of your buddies, it's a game meant for fun. And he outright said that. I can't remember the exact words he used, but I distinctly remember him specifically calling attention to that. And I feel like that just kind of proves my point even more, that Smash has always kind of put more focus on the fun aspect as opposed to the competitive. And they do focus on the competitive, but not nearly as much. And I do feel like that's a big argument for having the characters be able to be unlocked as you play through the game, because, like I said, it's just kind of a more casual scene than most other fighting games.
That's one of the reasons why he's so accessible to so many people.
Exactly.
Why it's so different. But yeah. So, anyway, I, of course, think that there will be different modes in terms of unlocking the characters, but in terms of the big single-player mode, like the big selling point, like the Subspace Emissary of Smash Ultimate, how do you think they're going to handle that plan?
I feel like they would do something that's kind of a little between what Brawl did and what Melee's Adventure Mode did. At least, like, somewhere along the lines of that.
Mm-hmm.
I have not played Smash 3DS, so I'm not exactly sure how Smash Run works. But from what I can gather, it seems a lot more similar to Melee's Adventure Mode than it did to Brawl. I don't know about that myself. That's just what I gather from hearing people talk about it. The only major difference that I really see is the whole stat changing thing. And I hope they don't really do that, to be honest, because I feel like when you try to blur the line of a casual and competitive game, kind of like what they're doing with Smash, they're trying to blur that line as much as possible so that anybody can jump in, but also anybody could get competitive if they really wanted to.
Yeah.
And I feel like I feel like the best way to do that is to not fuck with the stats of a character, because that is like the easiest way to make someone get disoriented, especially when they're trying to choose a main.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah, definitely. Really, what I kind of want them to do is just to focus more on like levels that are based on the franchises that have characters representing them in the adventure mode, because like Melee's Adventure, the reason people remember it so fondly is because like I could be as Marth in the Mushroom Kingdom, like I could be escaping, I could be going through a Metroid escape sequence as any Nintendo character I want. That stuff was memorable. It was random, not really connected, but memorable. And the moments where you just fought characters like in classic mode, it was just like, okay, we're back to this. But just like being like a beat 'em up platformer, Smash Bros can kind of work like that as long as the level design is good and again memorable.
That's honestly my biggest complaint with the story mode in Brawl. And I feel like if they took the elements of level design from adventure mode in Melee and put that with the gameplay structure of Brawl, I feel like that's like the best possible thing that they could ever do. Because the thing that I didn't really like about Brawl was the fact that everything was kind of new, if that makes any sense.
Generic.
Like, and I don't want to say new because that makes it sound like, oh, like super exciting and stuff. And not that it wasn't fun, but it was not as themed around the franchises as Adventure Mode was. Because, like you said, being able to run through Mushroom Kingdom as Marth was really freaking cool. With Brawl, you were just kind of running through a generic desert as Marth.
Yeah.
Like, it's just, the locations themselves, they were well designed in Brawl, but, like, they were too bland. There wasn't any charm value to it. Because there wasn't any, like, big nostalgic connection. Like, and yes, there were a couple of enemies that were, like, based on certain characters or whatever, but the vast majority of them weren't. The vast majority of the enemies in Brawl were just completely new designs that they came up with. Which is fine and good and all, but it doesn't stick with you as long as, say, the moments where you find a Goomba or a Koopa or something. Like, that sticks out to you because you know what a Goomba is. Like, you don't know what the hell a Primate is.
Yeah, I'm hoping that it's also shorter too, you know, because we can make all these great memorable stages, but like even still, if Brawl had those cool stages that Melee had, if it went on as long as Brawl did, like it just would lose its impact on me, because I felt like Brawl's adventure was just a bit too long, and that might be due to like the incredibly terribly designed final Great Maze.
Honest to God, okay, I'm gonna go on a little bit of a rant here, because I hear people complain all the frickin' time that Brawl is too long for its own good, and I disagree with that strongly, and here is why. I can beat that game in one sitting, and I've done it before.
Yeah.
Like, it's not long. It's really not. Like, if you know where to go and shit, it is really not that long. It just feels long because the last level is so tedious. It's honest to God, you know, it's only the last level that does it. Like, progress prior to that feels completely fine. Like, there's really nothing wrong with it. it's just the Great Maze that people bitch about, and that's it. Whenever
I just think little before the Great Maze too, because like the what's it called, the like black portal that you go into, there's like 3 different levels of that, and it's just like, all right, we get it, let's move on. And I don't know, it just kind of overstays its welcome, I think.
Yeah, I can see that, but I do feel like as long as they don't go with a Great Maze type structure for, God forbid, I hope they don't do that for the entire game, but if they don't do that for any levels at all, I think that would be quite helpful. They stick to like the first half of the Subspace Emissary, and then you'll be fine. But as far as length is concerned, you have to keep in mind that I am the kind of guy who's completely indifferent to that. I will play a game that I can beat in one sitting, like Metroid Fusion or Luigi's Mansion, games that I'm trying to pick up speed running. But I also play games like Xenoblade Chronicles that are friggin' long as hell, and Final Fantasy and the Tales series. Like, I don't freaking care about the length of a game. As long as it can hold my attention, I don't give a shit how long it takes.
Yeah, and that's the thing, because I'm a big JRPG fan myself, but like, with Brawl Subspace Emissary, it was just starting to lose me. Like, when it was getting towards the end of the game, I was feeling it. Like, I was okay with like just going through all these levels. But then, like, when I started getting bored and I was like, are we done yet? Then that's when it started. That's just when it started.
Yeah, and I definitely agree with you there. And I feel like what we talked about before regarding, like, the level design and using more iconic scenery and enemies and stuff, I feel like that would help with it a lot. If they did something like that, it probably would not feel as tedious as it did in Brawl.
Maybe what they could do is something like Smash Run, like how going with the idea of using like a giant overworld, but just make it like 10 times larger, like a big open world to explore with all these characters, and like you'd find the characters you have to unlock in there somehow by doing missions or something. Like, I feel like a lot of games are going for more of an open world feel now, like Kingdom Hearts.
Which I don't like, by the way. I just want to throw that out there. I hate open world.
What?
I'm serious. I freaking hate it. Because not only does it kill the structure of a game, like, narratively, and a good example of this is Breath of the Wild. As much as people love that game, you cannot deny that the story of Breath of the Wild is not nearly as strong as some of the other Zelda games, and it's specifically because it takes a backseat because of the open world, because it can't be told in a linear structure. It can only be told out of order, which kills the pacing of the game. Open world styles, it kills the pacing of a game, and it completely kills the entire concept of a difficulty curve. Difficulty curves don't really exist in open world games.
I don't think open worlds are like the problem with open world stories. I just feel like people just haven't been doing it right, because really it's no different than just telling a story in a game that has a world map. Like, if you have a world map, you can go to places you're not supposed to go to earlier, but just stories just like push you in the direction you have to go. And if you go to a place that the story wasn't going to take you towards until much later, then you just shouldn't be able to do the story thing there.
Well, I mean, that's kind of what I mean, though. I don't count that as an open world trait, because here's kind of what I mean by that. When I say open world, I don't necessarily mean go wherever you want. I mean do what you want when you want. That's what pisses me off. Because I hate when the game does not give you a set order of events. I despise that with a passion, because it kills the pacing of the storytelling of the game, and it completely kills it. And open world structure, open world in games is not what bothers me. It's open world structure that bothers me. I hate the fact that you can do things out of order if you choose to do so. Going wherever you want, that is fine by me. But as long as you make the first and honestly only game I have ever really played that I actually like it, being able to do what you want when you want, the only game I've ever played that I actually liked that in is A Link Between Worlds. I hated it in Breath of the Wild. I hated it in basically any other open world game I've ever played. Because it feels like it has no structure. It's never really clear what the game wants me to do and when. And I know the whole point of that is to remove that aspect. I know that the entire point is so that you don't feel like you're on a track. Like, you don't feel like you're being, like... You don't feel hand-holdy, if that makes any sense. But a serious consequence of that is the fact that it feels like the entire structure of the game is misguided and doesn't know what it wants you to do. It feels confused, for lack of a better word. It feels like the game doesn't give a flying fuck what you do, and that bothers me.
Well, see, with Smash, though, it's like, would you rather have, like, a linear story, or would you rather just be able to have this grand world of combined Nintendo franchises where you could just explore to your heart's content, like finding secrets and whatnot, and doing events that'll eventually lead to characters? Because I feel like with an open world, like, you can play as whoever you want and go where you want, and when you find different characters with the character you're using, that could be a way to have maybe smaller cutscenes where you just have those two characters interact and then do whatever you need to do to unlock said character. I just think, it'd be a fun little idea to do.
It could be a cool idea, but honest to God, I don't think I would like that. And that's just me personally, because I don't really like that kind of structure in games. I don't like being able to choose where I want to go. I like having the game say, like, this is what you need to do now, and this is what you need to do next. And I get that the whole point is, like, the game being able to say, oh, you can put this off until later. But it makes it feel like everything I do is less important. If dicking around is the entire point, I'm gonna get bored pretty freaking quickly.
Maybe they could have, like, thresholds where, like, you can't pass a certain point in the open world unless you found X amount of characters. Then you'll unlock more of an open world, and then the story can continue. And then when you get to the next threshold...
I feel like that could work if they only made that, like, a specific character itself instead of certain amount of characters. Because that's honestly the only thing I didn't really like about Super Mario Odyssey. The fact
that you just needed X amount of moons?
Yeah. I feel like if there were... And that's kind of not a big criticism towards Mario Odyssey, because Mario Odyssey is an open world game, but it has linear structure. There is that's like the big thing that I really want to call attention to, is that there's a difference between having an open world game and having an openly structured game. There is a big difference. Mario Odyssey is linearly structured, but it's open world. Breath of the Wild is neither. It's open world, but it's not linearly structured at all.
Yeah. I get what you're saying. So yeah, maybe that would work where you, like,
the way it was handled in Mario Odyssey is, honest to God, the best way I've ever seen it pulled off in a video game.
Well, I mean, it just requires X amount of moons, though. So, I mean, it'd be kind of similar to having...
But here's the difference. In something like Mario Odyssey versus... I'm trying to think of another good analogy. Like, okay, let's say Mario 64 versus Mario Odyssey. I think Mario Odyssey handled it better. Because in Mario 64, the only things you really have to do is kill Bowser. Every other star that you get is technically optional if you do a different star instead. Mario Odyssey does have specific ones that you have to go for in order to progress. And I like that better. A lot better. Not to say Mario 64 isn't a great game. It is. But I like the way that Mario Odyssey is structured a lot better.
Well, I think Odyssey, it's not really that you have to get, like, the story-based ones, because I truly do believe you can get enough moons before tackling, like, the kingdom's boss before moving on to the next kingdom.
But this is actually something that I did not discover until recently when I replayed the game racing it with my cousin. You can't do that. Believe it or not. You have to beat the bosses to get to the next kingdom.
Really?
Yeah. I didn't think you did. I thought it was just get a certain amount of moons and then you could take off. You can do that, but there's a catch. You don't unlock the next kingdom if you don't.
Oh. Interesting.
I didn't even know that until like my second playthrough of the game. But that is something that is required. You do have to beat the bosses.
Huh. Well, alright, then I think Smash Bros. Could adopt the Odyssey formula, whereas...
If it adopts the Odyssey formula, that will be the best possible way that I think they could do it, to be honest. Because yeah, I love the way that game was structured. I still don't like the get an arbitrary amount of moons thing, but the way that the linear structure of the game flowed felt very natural. It did not feel misguided. It didn't feel like it didn't know what it wanted to do. The game had a very clear goal throughout the entire thing, and you were allowed to dick around and do whatever you want. That's what I feel like the big problem with developers these days is. They don't seem to understand the difference between allowing you to do what you want and forcing you to do what you want. Because there's a difference. Like, giving you the option to dick around if you choose to do so, that's cool. But if dicking around is the entire point of the game, it doesn't really give me motivation to keep playing the game if I get bored of dicking around, because there's no overall goal. That is precisely why I get bored of stuff like Minecraft in like 10 minutes.
Yeah. So, alright, so here's how I putting all that together. Here's what I would think the single player campaign would be in Smash Ultimate, and that's what I really like. So it'd be kind of like an open world in the vein of Odyssey, whereas you travel to different portions of like Nintendo franchises. Like you start in the Mushroom Kingdom, and then you could like move on. Like instead of having like planets or kingdoms or whatever they had in Mario Odyssey, they could have literal universes per game. Like Hyrule could be one of them. Exactly.
Like that could be really freaking cool. Like you could have like Zebes for Metroid or something.
And like
that would be cool.
You would unlock the characters based on not only story missions, but like exploring the worlds too. Like the story mission for the Mushroom Kingdom would be like saving Princess Peach from Bowser. Then you unlock Peach and maybe even Bowser. But if you like explore the kingdom more, you can find characters like Dr. Mario and maybe Paper Mario if he's in the game.
Like you have to do certain objectives and unlock certain characters to carry on. But if they had extra ones there that you could go after, that would be really cool. Like optional ones, like you said, like Rosalina or Dr. Mario. Hell, even Luigi. Like you could throw him in there. And
I think you start with him though, because the original 64 cast.
Right. But well, then again, he wasn't unlockable. So if they give all 12, then yeah, you would start with Luigi.
But yeah, that'd be super cool. Like going through different Nintendo franchises, it'd be an open world, something new, and you'd also be unlocking characters along the way. The only thing.
Oh my god! You know what I just thought of? What? That would be a genius excuse to put more villains in Smash.
Oh yeah, there you go. Because then they'd have the different villains.
Because then you could franchises. That would give them like a motivation to put like an overall goal per area. Like you have to beat Ridley in order to beat the Metroid one. You have to beat Bowser to beat the Mario one. Beat Ganon to get the Zelda one. That would be such a cool way to introduce new villains into the game.
There you go. But like third-party characters, that's where things get a little complicated.
I mean, then again, what they did with Snake kind of worked in Brawl because he was just kind of like,
he was just kind of chilling, yeah.
He was just chilling, like, don't mind me, I'm just in a box. And then the way they handled that was kind of cool because they kind of tied him into the rest of the characters. Like I think he meets up with Meta Knight, and
yeah, Meta Knight and Lucario.
Yeah, and Lucario, and I feel like that was handled kind of well. The way they handled Sonic bothered me because
that was dumb. Yeah,
he was just you were kind of playing through the whole game like, okay, Sonic's advertised on the back of the box. Where is he? And then at the very end of the game, he's just like, here I am. And like
yeah, I'm here. Don't worry.
Out of nowhere, and you're just like, what the fuck? That was underwhelming.
Yeah, I think that's just because with the development of the game, he was really added in last minute. He was one of the reasons it got developed.
And that's part of the problem. That's part of the problem is that it feels last minute. You can do stuff last minute and have it work. But if it feels last minute, that's when you have a problem.
Yeah, so I feel like what they could do is have like one random third-party character in every kingdom. Like in the Mushroom Kingdom, like you'd find Sonic in like the sewer system or something.
That could actually that could be pretty cool. I like that idea.
Hyrule, you have Cloud just chilling in the clouds. Something like that. I think, oh man, that'd be so cool.
That
I'm talking about this and I'm like, this is exactly how I would make it.
Yeah, if I was part of the team, this is honest to God like exactly how I'd do it, because I really like the ideas we're coming up with here, and I know we're not part of the dev team, but like, damn, like this is some really good potential that they have here.
Yeah, man, there's a lot they could do, and I honestly think they're gonna do something open world with the campaign, because that's just kind of the direction they've been bringing their Nintendo franchises, just by Mario and Zelda.
And that's the thing, like,
so,
I
yeah.
feel like it's very hit and miss. With Zelda, for me, it was a huge miss. Mario Odyssey hit the nail right in the fucking head. That game was perfect.
Yeah. So, yeah, and besides that, I also think they'll be including other single-player modes, like, I know I really think Target Smash is gonna come back, and
I mean,
I'm hoping
Target Smash was kinda in 4, but it was not.
It was Angry Birds.
It was Angry. I've never heard it described like that, but that's exactly what it was now that I think about it.
Yeah. And, man, I would hope that they make every character have their own Target Smash stage, but that'll take so much work,
Oh my
and
God, yeah.
I don't know if they do that, but, like, it just really bothers me when there's only, like, 5 stages, so maybe just include more?
Yeah, maybe.
I don't know.
Also, along the same lines, I really hope that they bring back the other modes from, like, older Smash games, like, particularly Melee and even 64.
Yeah.
You know what I really miss that, like, I never hear people talk about anymore, and it makes me sad because it was, like, my favorite thing ever. Do you remember Board the Platforms?
I said that in my video. I loved Board the Platforms.
I love that.
Oh, it was so fun.
It was like
I
my
want
favorite
that back
side mode.
so bad. Yeah, exactly. Like, man, I just love platforming in Smash Bros, man. It's so
good.
fun.
It's good.
Yeah, I want Board the Platforms back, dude. So bad. It'd be so fun. I also want Race to the
Yeah, I was
Finish
about to
back
say,
from
Race to
Melee.
the Finish would be real. And didn't they have that in 64?
Did they?
I think
maybe?
they did, actually.
I think they did, yeah. It was like, yeah, I'm pretty sure they did. But, yeah, I want that back, too. Maybe even as a multiplayer mode as well. I want all these extra modes to be multiplayer. Like, can you imagine, like, Target Smash being, like, a race to see who breaks
Yeah, I was
the
about to
targets
say,
first?
like,
And,
you could do Race to the Finish or Board the Platforms of Target Smash as, like, a versus mode. That would be so cool.
Yeah, and, yo, if the campaign mode was, like, at least co-op, dude.
I mean,
awesome.
it was in Brawl, and that is, like, the best thing they could have done, because that game is so much more fun when you have another person with you.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and they should have, like, a live system or something.
Can you imagine 8-player co-op?
Oh, God.
Please don't do that.
Yeah, no. But, yeah, anything else you want to say for, single-player unlocking characters and whatnot?
I really hope it works like it did in Melee. I feel like that was the most rewarding system for unlocking characters, to be honest. Even more so than Brawl.
Yeah.
I like how it was in Brawl, don't get me wrong. I really, really like the way it was. How, like, getting them in the story, you unlock them in the multiplayer. That was cool. I liked that.
Mm-hmm.
But I feel like it made it go by a little bit too quickly, if that made any sense.
Yeah.
Whereas with Melee, I did not know that some characters were in the game until, like, 7 years after I bought it.
Yeah, because there are, like, so many ways to unlock the characters.
And some of them are so obscure that you would never think to do it. And I love that kind of thing, because it's just like, whoa, what the fuck? Game & Watch is in this? I didn't know what a Game & Watch was until Brawl, and I did not know he was in Melee until, like, 5 years later.
Yeah, that's why the open world concept could work so well, because you wouldn't only be unlocking characters through just doing story missions. That'd be like a part of the main roster, but then you'd have to do like obscure things, like maybe various mini games or exploring the world to find the other characters.
Yeah.
So it'd be like a different way to discover. Man, you'd really have to search every inch for
Maybe
the characters.
they could incorporate like events into it somehow.
Yeah, exactly.
That could be cool.
Oh man, that'd be so cool.
Yeah, dude.
But
awesome.
yeah, anything else you gotta say?
I think that pretty much just about covers it. If they structured it like they did with Mario Odyssey, giving you like a clear goal per area, making sure that you have to do that in order to advance to the next one, but then giving you like those optional little challenges and letting you dick around if you choose to do so, I feel like that's the best way they could possibly handle it, and I really hope they do it like that.
Yeah, it's a cool idea we kind of came up with
I like
over
that.
this little podcast thing.
Oh, also a cool idea that I kind of thought of. What if you kind of rotated around them, like as you finished each area, like you had, say you had the 12 to start with or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
What if you started in each of those and having them slowly converge together, like, kind of like how the characters, the character group thing worked in Brawl, having like, you start out with just Mario, and then he meets Pit, and then those two are together for like the rest of the game.
Yeah.
They could have something like that, where like, say like you have like Ness and Lucas have like their own like Earthbound world or something. If you finish their world and then reach it with Mario's group or whatever, those two groups join together, and then like at some point you have just everybody come in, and at like the very end, just like they had it in Brawl, but have it structured so that the levels incorporate that. That would be kind of cool.
Yeah, maybe like to unlock like the final world, you need like to have everyone together. You have to make every group kind of merge into one. That would be cool. That would be very cool, yeah. And like there could be some like super final boss or something.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know. Taboo didn't really bother me that much because the narrative wasn't really that big of a focus. We just needed a major villain for the sake of having a final boss.
I just like,
or just maybe Master Hand or something.
I just like Taboo for the fact that it doesn't try to be anything more than it is. It doesn't. Yeah, it doesn't try to build itself up to be some kind of massive threat. Like, and
it's just like, I'm the final boss.
I feel like if they did that, it would come off as really stupid and rushed, but it does kind of come off that way. But like, you know with the way that they pulled it off, that that's not what they were going for, and they don't care. Like, that was not a priority, and they do not try to make it seem like it was. The worst thing you could possibly do with something that's rushed is try to act like it's not. And it shows when you do that. Like, if you try to fake something being more important than it is, people will notice. If you don't try, you have nothing to hide. And that's what I liked about Taboo, is that it comes the fuck out of nowhere, and the game knows that and doesn't try to make it seem like anything more.
Yeah, it's always good when the stories are self-aware. Like, you can have all these ridiculous scenarios, and the game can, like, you know, give you a little wink, like, yeah, we know it's ridiculous,
yeah,
but, like,
we know it's dumb.
It's fun.
Don't think about it too hard.
Yeah, you know, it's just a fun little thing we put in there, so don't even think about it.
And that's what I like about Taboo, is the fact that it's such this... It is a hard boss. Like, you really gotta acknowledge that. It's one of the hardest final bosses I've ever played. I've beaten Taboo on Intense not that long ago. I played through the entire emissary on Intense by myself. And
yeah, did
you know that all but 2 of Taboo's moves are almost guaranteed one-hit kills?
Yeah, dude.
It's insane. And I love the fact that the game doesn't try to seem like it's not ridiculous. The game knows how bullshit levels of hard that is, and doesn't try to make it seem like anything beyond. It doesn't try to make it seem anything more than a ridiculous challenge that you can do if you want. It knows that that's all it really is, and doesn't really try to force that on you.
Yeah, so, you know, something self-aware, just, you know, fun little events happening. It'll just all be in good fun, you know? There could be a lot of different scenarios and set pieces, and like different animated cutscenes and stuff. That'd be, oh man, it'd be so cool.
I do want to see a return of animated cutscenes. Like, that was my favorite part of the emissary by far, was like seeing these characters interact with each other. That was my favorite thing about it. Like, even above the gameplay, above the whole, like, the added bosses, the level design, that was like my favorite thing about Brawl, is seeing all of these different characters from such different backgrounds interacting with each other.
It'd be cool to see it return again, and I think with this mode we came up with, we could definitely see that.
It's like you would never really think of a scenario in which Pikachu has to help Samus find her suit because it was stolen. That is not a situation that you would ever really think of, but it's one that we got, and one that it scratched an itch we didn't know we had. Like, seeing those two interact, it's charming. And it's something that more games need.
Mm-hmm. But we could go on and on about all the stuff we want in this mode, but I think we better bring it to a close before we keep going. But yeah, Smash Ultimate, man, looks great. There's so much potential with this, what we're basically trying to say. But above all else, personally, I just hope the single player is great. Doesn't have to be as great as the fantastic idea we came up with, but I just want some great single player or co-op campaign mode that makes unlocking the characters satisfying and fun to play through. So
yeah, and not as generic as Smash 4, but maybe not as easy as Brawl, because I feel like that was my biggest complaint with unlocking the characters in Brawl, is that, like, while yeah, it's fun and it's satisfying and I like the way they handled it, you can unlock every character in a day if you really wanted to, and it's too easy. I like giving me an incentive to do something challenging, and getting a reward for it like that at the end makes it so much better.
Yeah, and like in all Smash Bros games, there is like play versus X amount of times to unlock this character, but like the other modes were just so much more attractive to do than just playing battles. But in Smash 4, when just doing battles is like the easiest way and what everyone wants to do, that's when you know you've done something wrong. So
yeah,
just make it so that unlocking characters is fun again.
And
that's
something that I kind of never really realized until Smash 4 came out, because it was so unsatisfying to unlock most characters. That being said, there was one that I really like how it was handled, because there was really only one unlockable character in Smash 4 that felt satisfying to me to unlock. And of all people it could have been, it was Duck Hunt Dog.
Yeah. Because
the way that you have to unlock him is challenging as hell. I don't know if you remember what you have to do, but I don't know if that's the required way to do it, or if you can just play a certain number of battles and do it that way. I think you can. But the alternative way to unlock him is to beat, I think it's 4 enemies in Cruel Smash, which, if you've ever played Cruel Smash, is fucking ridiculous. Like, it's hard. And it made... honest to God, if there was not an incentive to unlock a character by doing that, I would have tried it once and never touched that mode again. It gives... Unlocking characters in a challenging way gives me motivation to do stuff that I otherwise would never have bothered to do. And I like that in games.
Yeah. So, you know, on top of all the characters we think will be added and whatnot, as long as there's a single player mode or some way to unlock the characters that's fun, I think it's safe to say that this will be easily one of the best Smash Bros, if not the best in the series.
Yeah. Honestly, I'm just happy that Snake's back. I'm so happy.
Yeah, I was worried that some of my babies would get cut, but nah, man. Smash Ultimate's bringing everyone back, and I'm really excited for that. So
yeah.
With that being said, if you want to go ahead and plug your channel so we can close things out, go right ahead, Plant.
Yeah. So I do Let's Plays mostly. I also was a countdown artist at one point, and I've kind of like changed priority since then. I still might do more countdowns. I don't know, but like I do a ton of stuff. I'm mostly a Let's Player, but I'm also a producer. So I do make a lot of music and shit. So if you want to check that out, just go ahead and check out my channel, Zafre. Go ahead and put a link in the description. And yeah, that's me. Also, one more thing I just want to say. You know how earlier I kind of want to end this off on one particular note. You know how earlier I said that if we say something is never gonna happen, it happens in Smash?
Yeah.
Shrek will never be in Smash.
Oh, God.
Nintendo, you know what you must do.
Oh, man. Well, with that being said, you know who I am. This has been ZaffreRevolution. Thanks for watching. If you're still watching, you guys, man, you guys are all so beautiful. There's so many of you now. Like, I love
man, like, you know what's weird to think? The fact that I actually outgrew you at one point, and you were the one who discovered me, like, way back in the day. You found...
I've reclaimed my crown, though.
You have.
But yeah, lots of great growing, guys. It's exciting. So if you're still watching this, yo, thank you. Take our ideas into consideration. Smash Ultimate could be so cool. And when Smash Ultimate comes out, yo, be sure to check this back and see
man.
what kind of stuff we got right.
and also, just feel free to hit us up. Like, if you guys ever want to play, I'm game.
Yeah, man. Smash Ultimate, I'm sure to have, like, community nights where we'll just play Smash Ultimate.
Oh, hell yeah, dude.
It's a big deal. But, yeah, thanks for watching. You guys, I love you all. And just stay awesome. Bye-bye.
See ya.